Welcome back to the channel, and let me welcome to the channel. Although it's weird to say welcome because I'm in their house, KEO and Zels. Not that you live together.
Well,
Here's a secret.
damn you, Tim!
Busted.
Go and check out the SA Rugby Mag channel on YouTube to watch the full chat that we've had, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, gents. I want to ask you a question though. I go home from South Africa tomorrow. Before I go, just imagine on Table Mountain there, you could have some sort of Mount Rushmore type setup and carve some faces into the face of Table Mountain. Mount Rushmore of Springboks.
How many do I get?
4.
Well, there is 4 on Table Mountain. I think there's space for a 5th, but there's 4.
Okay, so I go
Only pro era.
okay. I go Sia Khaleesi, without a doubt.
Just on that guy, by the way, just what a human. I've had loads of Springbok fans sort of say, "Oh, Sia Khaleesi for president." Do you think that could actually happen?
Absolutely.
Mate. Absolutely.
But the grey hair is starting to come through there. You may have to shave it before he gets to that point.
But Sia Khaleesi for sports minister, definitely. But yeah, just an incredible ambassador. And I said earlier when we chatted, to think he was carrying tackle bags at the 2015 World Cup. It's not that long ago that he wasn't recognised for what he could do. And then just kudos to Rassie for backing him, giving him that opportunity. But he just continues to grow. And forget what happened at Racine or what happened at the Sharks, or he only plays one game, and that's every time he puts a green jersey on. Yeah. And he unites a country, and he gives people hope and aspiration, and is an inspiration. So he gets planted up there.
There have been captains before who maybe some would argue there are better players waiting in the wings, but I think actually Sia can have sort of average games, but when it's the big games, that man shows up.
And every one of our World Cup winning captains, so you take Francois Pienaar, there was a belief he wasn't necessarily the best in his position. John Smith, there was a belief he was better in his position, but they were great leaders. Sia, when he came on the scene, is he the best flanker? For me, in the last 2 years, you pick him first because he's the player, and then you pick him. It's a bonus that he
puts that green jersey on. He's just on another level.
And there's a different buzz when he hasn't played in the last 2 years, when they've rotated and a Peter Steff has led the team or someone else. There's a different energy to those Boks. When he walks out first, you just feel it's a party time and it's going to happen. And he empties the tank for 56 minutes. And like on Saturday, people were just, don't let Sia go off, but we want to see Kwagga. So that combination together. So he would definitely be up there.
No argument there.
Sure. I mean, he'd definitely be in the mix. I suppose what he's achieved, you have to say, yeah.
You'd make him one of your 4. Percy Montgomery would be up there.
Wow, interesting.
893 points. First South African Springbok.
Whoever's carving that's got a good job to get the hair.
to 102 tests. Played his 100th at Newlands, where he kind of grew up. People don't know his backstory that well. His dad, a fisherman from the old Southwest Africa. He was sent to boarding school at Sachs from the age of 8 to 18. Wonderful story about him that he always tells is that his school, he was SA School's water polo, and he got the opportunity to go with Sachs on their first ever UK tour when he was in matric. And he was also picked for the SA School's water polo side. And the SA School's water polo coach was a teacher at Sachs. And he asked him, what do I do? And the teacher said, go on the rugby tour because you'll probably never get another one again. So he thought he would make it in polo. And he said he ended up going on rugby tours for the rest of his life. Just what he achieved, the adversity he went through, first 50 tests here, went overseas, again, made in Newport. He talks about those 3 years as being the years that made him, came back and played the 52 tests. So just for the records, I think at one stage he held 94 records. So he would be my second choice. Agree or disagree?
Other end of the field, I take Percy, and then the other end of the lineup, also Durant for me. I don't know where you're on that. Just an absolute
What a story.
Without a doubt, 99, comes back 2007, well managed by Jake White. SA Rugby magazine a couple of years ago made him their player of the century, 1 for 1. So Os Durant, and just a wonderful human being.
How long was it that he didn't play again? It was a good...
Yeah, a good 4 years, Yeah.
4 years.
4 years, yeah. And at that stage, I think his weight ballooned to about 150. And Jake got him back and said, I want you to play in the next World Cup. And
By the way, imagine how big he would be if he was playing in 2024 because 150 kgs, that's what Tamaiti Williams and Tosi and Weenie Antonio are. He'd be that, but muscle.
But imagine him in today's guys coming off the bench for 30.
Ooh. Totally. And he was massively mobile as well. He wasn't just a big body. I mean, his work rate.
And fast over the first like 10 meters. It's all he needed. But and it's just a great bloke as well. I think culturally he would have just fitted in with this squad and this type of player.
Who's your last one?
So we've got 3. Is that 3 locked in?
You're in agreement? Yeah, I agree with those.
You agree with those?
Yeah.
So my last one, and this may surprise people.
Speed.
No.
Really?
I'll go with Victor Matfield.
Woof.
I think 2007 World Cup.
Hold on, I need to work out where we're drawing the line here, because Farid Apria?
Well, I mean, he's on the short list for sure.
Well, it's only 4, eh? If we bowl a little man.
Again, maybe it's my lifetime, and I guess the rugby I've seen, but if I were going to pick one South African just as the best player, I'd probably pick him.
Farid Apria. I suppose on ability, he was a fantastic player and a game changer tactically for the South Africa. He was the guy that kind of fronted the whole South African success behind their percentage tactics. But I'm not sure. Like, I mean, we are factoring in things here that are beyond just, how far you can kick a ball and if you can pass well. So, I mean, Siya Kolisi fits the frame for that. For me, my 4th guy would be Brian Abana. I think the best finisher in South African history, scored the most tries, just a speed freak, ability to change a game in a split second. So.
Well, I chose the guy who's going to win in the ball, and you chose the guy who's going to finish the ball. I chose the guy who's going to convert.
Lots of honourable mentions.
And the guy who's going to lead them out.
Yeah. But Matfield was obviously an incredible player. But if you took Matfield out and put the next best guy in,
fantastic list.
It would be not that far behind. No. Which is where I find it quite interesting that when you look at 9s and 10s, not a really long list of South African greats.
We don't need halfbacks because we've got the best forwards in the world, so we just grind it up.
I mean, Eddie Jones tells a wonderful story that when he came over as Jake White's technical assistant for the 2007 World Cup, technical advisor, and we were obsessed with Australia, obsessed with the Brumbies and the way they played. And because maybe we were getting beaten so often by them in Super Rugby. And every South African player, it alludes to your point earlier, it's like, how does the world perceive you? You may perceive yourself differently to how the world actually sees you. And he said to the South African players, how do you think we see you? And then the one player said, I want to pass more. He says, no, you don't. You just want to run. He says, I want to run more. He says, no, you don't. You just want to pass. You don't have to be at the bottom of the ruck. You just have to be the general, the playmaker. And they kept on going on about the Brumbies and Australia. And he turned around and he said, if Australia had the Springbok pack and Farid Apria, you wouldn't know who plays 10 for Australia because the ball would be going back inside every time.
Correct.
And I think what we would have not always appreciated, and also inferiority complex from being in isolation, putting the All Blacks on a pedestal, seeing England as this team, wow, to go to Twickenham and win. We haven't appreciated just how good our players have been, or just how good the world sees them as being. And even that 2009 side, when McCaw said in his 148 tests, it's the best side he's ever played when they lost those 3 as opposition. And at one stage, I was speaking to some New Zealanders and I was saying, if we had McCaw and if we had Carter, they were like, if we had Matfield, if we had Berger, if we had Farid Apria. It was kind of jarred that you realise they're actually talking about our players with the same reverence we talk about their players. So yeah, I mean, 4 you could maybe name like a
40.
40
yeah,
So
exactly.
we've got 3 in agreement, and could one of you, if you had to pick Matfield or Habana?
Oh, I'm happy to switch either way.
I'm
They're
happy to
both
go with
great
Habana.
players. Yeah.
I'm happy to go with Habana. Sorry, Vic.
Monty, Habana, Durant, and Sia.
2 backs, 2 forwards. Come on. Goal kicker. Scrum will be good.
Yeah,
Done.
and we've got one from the Free State. Got one from Cape Town. We've got an imported one from Cape Town here, Eastern Cape, and he's with the Sharks now. And we've got a band who played everywhere. So we've covered all our bases.
Well, I'm sure that'll light the comments up anyway, so tell me what you think down below. Thank you, guys. Absolute pleasure. Let's do it again.
Great stuff. Thanks, man.
See you on the next one.